Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to your new favorite place on the internet. My name is Bella, and today I really want to talk to you guys about all of the books that I have to read in 2026, which is literally less than a month away. I don't want to think about that, okay? I might go into an existential crisis. I might go into this dark spiral of nervousness and anxiety if I think too much on the fact that 2026 is almost upon us. In order for me to forget about, that, I thought it would be fun to talk about all of the books that I plan to fill my year with, because we've got some really great picks here. We have some really big classics. I don't know if you can see, obviously you can see this. We've got some classics, we've got some manga, we've got danme, we've got contemporary, we've got literary fiction. Like, it's just a little bit of everything. And I thought I would talk to you guys about these books because I'm really excited to fill my year with these reads. These are books that I got this year, but there are a couple that I've had since 2024, and those are definitely ones that I need to read in 2026. If not, I am going to be unhauling them, because if it's taken me over 2 years to pick those books up, maybe I don't really want to read them, or maybe I just haven't had the time. I'll see how I figure that out. What do you say we get this started? Because we have 15 books. I have chosen 15 books from my physical TBR that I really want to get to in 2026. So without further ado, sit back, relax. I hope you have your snack or drink of choice, and let's get this started. I thought that we could start with my classic literature TBR, because I'm sure that it's going to grow as the year progresses, but this is what I'm starting the year with. These are the books that have been on my physical TBR and the ones that I promised not only myself but also you guys that I was going to read. The very first book here on top of the pile is none other than the Iliad, written by Homer. I bought myself a copy of the Iliad after having read the Odyssey and loving it, loving every single second. And honestly, I think that I loved it as much as I did because I love the musical so much. Ever since falling in love with every single saga and learning every single lyric to every single song, I just knew that I had to read the original material. I had so much fun reading the Odyssey, and I was like, well, Homer does have another book that I could totally read. So of course I had to get myself a copy of the Iliad. This is the edition that's translated by Emily Wilson, because I simply adored her translation of the Odyssey. It was so emotional and evocative. It was just really beautiful to read, and I think that it really enhanced my experience to read her translation. So that's why I also got the Iliad translated by Emily Wilson. This has a total of 610 pages, and this is an epic poem, so it's written like this in verses. I'm just so excited to read the Iliad because I do know the story, I do know what happens. I have low-key but not really studied the Iliad in school, so I know the gist of it. I never read the actual material. I'm finally making my way through these classic works of literature, and I am having so much fun. So yeah, definitely excited to read the Iliad next year. Next up is the Epic of Gilgamesh. This is a gift. I don't really know who sent it to me. It did not come with a note, so I don't even know who to thank. But to be honest, this book wasn't really on my radar, but after reading the back of the book and after doing some investigation on the side, I am so intrigued to read the Epic of Gilgamesh for myself. I am Gilgamesh, who seized and killed the bull of heaven. I killed the watchman of the cedar forest. I overthrew Humbaba, who lived in the forest. Gilgamesh, king of Uruk, and his companion Enkidu are the greatest of the heroes to have survived from the ancient literature of Babylon, immortalized in this epic poem that dates back to the 3rd millennium BC. When Enkidu dies, Gilgamesh's grief and fear of death are such that they lead him to undertake a quest for eternal life. A timeless tale of morality, tragedy, and pure adventure, the Epic of Gilgamesh is a landmark literary exploration of man's search for immortality. I mean, come on now, that just sounds so fascinating. That sounds like a book that I am immediately going to fall in love with, and that I'm going to have so much fun annotating and just like underlining the heck out of this book. And it's so short as well, like, but at this point, I feel like we all know that the shorter the book, the bigger the impact. That's been my experience this year. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being like one of my favorite classics, or one that I keep going back to again and again. What do you mean all of this is just the introduction and then this is the story? But then we have notes? No, we don't have notes actually. Yep, we do. Oh my god, it's even shorter than it looks. That's crazy. That is actually so crazy. It literally has less than 100 pages. That is crazy. I will proclaim to the world the deeds of Gilgamesh. This was the man to whom all things were known. This was the king who knew the countries of the world. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm already obsessed with the writing. I know the writing is, you know, heavily, what's that word, influenced by who translates it. Pero oh my goodness, I'm already so obsessed. Definitely starting 2026 with the Epic of Gilgamesh. Next up, okay, so this next one needs no introduction. It's Don Quixote, written by Cervantes. So this is a book that I have had with me since 2024. And I think at the end of 2024, I promised myself that I was going to read Don Quixote in 2025. Before December 2025, mark my words. If not, I will deactivate. It's currently the 10th of December, and I have no plans whatsoever to pick this book up before the year ends. Because I don't want to read this book right now. I really don't. Like, I don't want to. And I think that's the most important part. This has nearly 1,000 pages. Even though I have read books that have around that same page count, I just don't want to commit to this book just yet. Especially because I have tried to read Don Quixote in the past, but I have tried to read it in Spanish, which is its original language, and I hated it. I utterly detested my experience trying to read Don Quixote, and that's why I've been putting it off for so long. This is the book that's number 9 in all of my spinning wheel TBRs. For some reason, the spinning wheel decided to have mercy on my soul this year and didn't give me number 9. But for all of you who were wondering what number 9 was, it's Don Quixote by Cervantes. It's really funny because I'm currently reading The Three Musketeers, and The Three Musketeers, literally in chapter 1, it mentions Don Quixote, and I was like, this is a sign, isn't it? This is a sign that I finally have to pick up Don Quixote, but it's going to happen next year. Definitely not this year. Like, I just can't. It's impossible. Like, nobody challenged me to do it, because I know you guys, and I know you're going to try to entice me with a reading challenge for me to pick this up before the year ends, but no, I just know I won't accept the challenge. So don't even think about commenting that down below. The next classic I'm going to be reading next year is Notre Dame of Paris, written by Victor Hugo. So I read Les Mis last year, and I really love Victor Hugo's writing. I love how he builds these characters to feel so, well, human, obviously, but they just feel so genuine and so relatable, and they feel like people that you can love, and they feel like people that you may even know and relate to on a deep and personal level. And because of that, I am really excited to read another of Victor Hugo's works. This was once again a gift. Still not sure who I'm supposed to be thanking for this, but I am so eternally grateful, because after reading Les Mis, I've just been craving another work by Victor Hugo, because I feel like, you know, he can write that incredible, amazing, over 1,000 pages long novel, but can he do the same magic with a book that's less than 500 pages? Like, I just want to know. And I am so ready to read this book. I literally already have a bookmark inside because I'm ready. I am so ready to read this book, and it might be even one of the very first classics that I read. He was like a giant broken in pieces and badly reassembled. Oh my goodness, I'm just so excited. Okay, I'm so excited. Next up, this is probably going to be the longest book, the biggest, the one that's going to take me the most time. Like, do you hear that? That is the sound of a machine. That is the sound of a concrete block. This doesn't even have 1,000 pages. That's the craziest part. This has 862 pages. Why does this look so big though? Like 800, this looks like Les Mis. Am I going insane? But anyways, this next book is Little Dorrit, written by Charles Dickens. So Charles Dickens and I, how do I even begin to explain our relationship? I have like a love-hate relationship with Charles Dickens. Sometimes I really love his books, for example, A Tale of Two Cities, and then other times I just feel like okay with them. It's just like, This was an okay average experience for me. And that seems to be the case with a lot of people because his writing can be very dense. It can be very slow and very packed. I've definitely felt that, especially with maybe, I want to say Great Expectations, which is ironic because that's the one that I wanted to read the most before I had read any Charles Dickens in my life. So I'm reading this in 2026, Little Dorrit by Charles Dickens. I have heard some people say that this is Charles Dickens's best book out there. I don't know if they're saying that just to make you read this over 800-page book, pero it's happening. I'm going to be reading it in 2026. I'm going to be sharing my experience with you guys because if I have to go through this, you have to go through it with me. I'm not doing this on my own. I need your help. So, Little Dorrit by Charles Dickens, 2026. Here we come. So next up, I want to talk about some manga that I want to spend my year with. And the first one is a volume that I bought for myself, I think during summertime. I still haven't read it because as soon as I got it, I wrapped it up in the blind, you know, the thing for the blind TBR stuff. And then the spinning wheel has never given me the chance to read this book. But this one is Goodnight Pum Pum. I remember the general reaction when I first unboxed this book. So many people were like, oh my God, you're not ready for this. This is such a traumatizing experience. You're going to suffer so much. I don't even know what happens. I thought it was like a good old fun time. But people kept commenting like, oh my God, I can't believe you just bought that. Oh my God, you're going to suffer. Oh my God, you're going to be so traumatized. And it's just like, I want to know why. You know what I mean? Like that just made me even more intrigued. But I don't even know what it's about. That's the funniest part. There was like this time where everybody was talking about it on YouTube where I just kept seeing it on my For You page. And so I wanted to get a copy for myself and see what all the buzz was about. Fuzz? What all the fuzz was about. Yes, thank you. But it looks really cool, okay? Maybe cool isn't the word, but I know that I like the drawing style. This is kind of giving me an idea of what this story could be about. But I don't wanna make up any theories because then maybe I'll be wrong. Definitely going to be reading Pum Pum soon. And by soon, I mean next year. The next manga series that I'm going to be reading in 2026 is Fairy Tail. This is volume 2. Maraid, if you're watching, thank you so much for sending me. Well, actually, you sent me both volumes 1 and 2. I read volume 1 earlier this year again. I think it was in April. And I just really enjoyed my time with it. It's really fun. I can tell I'm going to have a really good time with it. I just haven't found or I haven't made the time to continue the series, especially the anime. I really want to start the anime, but I haven't been able to find a reliable source or like a reliable website to watch the anime. For some reason, my Netflix has it, but it doesn't have the first couple of seasons, and I'm not going to start in the middle of a season just so that I can be confused and spoiled. I definitely want to dedicate more time to Fairy Tail next year because, again, I just know it's going to be one of those series that I love, especially because Maraid loves it so much. She started One Piece because I kept talking about it and I kept saying that it's one of my all-time favorite animes, so I feel like I should just return the favor at this point. Beautiful celestial wizard Lucy has teamed up with the crazy fire wizard Natsu and his bizarre flying cat Happy. Their job? To steal a book from the notorious Duke Everloo. But the eccentric Everloo has killed wizards before, and Lucy's team is walking right into his death trap. Now tell me if that doesn't sound so fun and entertaining and like I'm going to have the time of my life. So of course, I'm definitely going to be reading Fairy Tail next year, and maybe even, I mean, I actually don't know how many volumes there are of Fairy Tail, but I'm hoping to read a handful, definitely a handful. There is another manga series that I think I also started this year, and I loved the first 3 volumes. I also started the anime, and it's just such an interesting concept because it's like this guy, and he's just like a normal dude, but suddenly he steals somebody's powers, but he didn't mean to steal them, but now they need to work together because if he doesn't use the powers of the person that he stole, more people are going to end up hurt. And that series is Bleach. I have 3 3 omnibus editions, which means that I currently own volumes 4 through 12, which means that there's definitely a manga readathon in the works because I have so many volumes to get through, and I feel like the best way to do so is through a readathon with you guys. Alor, oh my goodness, thank you for sending these my way. Like, I really appreciate this gift, and like also you sharing one of your favorite series, because como que se llama el main character? I'm so sorry. Our main character Ichigo can see ghosts, and this one night him and his family are attacked by a hollow, and a hollow is basically, if I remember correctly, it's this kind of monster or creature that is looking for humans to steal their souls from because, you know, they're hollow and they're looking for a replacement of the soul that they lost. Because of events that happen in the first 3 volumes of Bleach, our main character becomes a soul reaper, and now it's his job to protect people from creatures like the hollow, I think. Yes, I think so. Oh, and he's also helping the tortured spirits find peace. I'm also really excited to continue Bleach because my sister has also recommended the anime to me, and it's also just like a staple in the anime and manga world. Like, so many people have seen and read and loved Bleach, and I want to join the bandwagon, okay? I feel left out, and I've already read and watched so many other iconic animes and mangas. I feel like I need to read Bleach. Like, I need to add this to my list. So this is definitely going to be read in 2026. So next up, this is like this is like a detective story, and this is Breaking the Dark, written by Lisa Jewell. My boyfriend actually got this for me back in August, and originally, we got these books for me to read in August as my August TBR. So tell me why it's now December and I still haven't read Breaking the Dark. Or for that matter, I haven't read half of the books that we got for my August TBR. Honestly, it's kind of embarrassing, but I'm trying to move past it. He got me this book because he's a really big Marvel fan and he thinks that I can enjoy Jessica Jones. I think I saw the first season of Jessica Jones's TV show and I really like her. Like, I love the actress. I don't know too much about Jessica Jones. I just know that she's like a detective? Maybe? Oh no, she's a private investigator, former superhero. That's all I know. That's literally all I know. But I'm excited to give this a try, especially because my boyfriend thinks that I'm going to enjoy it. So I definitely have to read it in 2026. I wanted to read it this year. I just didn't make time for it and I feel really bad about it. So I need to prioritize this next year. And along the same vein, like another book that he also got me to read in August and I never got around to it is What Are You Going Through, written by Sigrid Nunez. So this is another book that he got for me while we were just perusing the bookshelves, and this one caught his eye and he was reading the back of it and he was like, this sounds like one of those books that you really like because it like focuses on the character development and the character relationships, and I'm just like, you had me at character. The woman at the heart of this unforgettable novel finds that everyone she meets has a common need: to have an audience for their experiences, and so she tries to pay attention, to imagine and listen to what those around her are going through. Why haven't I read this yet? This sounds like such an amazing experience. Profound, moving, and brilliant. I know, or I want to know. Again, 2026, absolutely. It has to happen, for sure. The next book on my 2026 TBR is Remnants of Filth, Volume 2. Now, this is a series that I started last year, and for some reason, I just never got around to continuing it. Like, I bought the sequel, but I just never read it, and I don't know why. One of my biggest regrets in regards to my reading habits this year is that I stopped reading Danmei, because I was having so much fun with Grandmaster, I was having so much fun with Heaven Official's Blessing, and I have started like 3 or maybe 4 different Danmei series after those, and for some reason I never continue with them. And I hate that because I always have so much fun reading Danmei, and they're always such a goofy and silly, yet also at times serious and beautiful reading experiences. And I feel like I missed out on so many incredible Danmei stories because I just didn't make the time for them. So in 2026, I definitely want to make more time for Danmei, starting with Volume 2 2 of Remnants of Filth. We have these two guys, okay? And they used to be lovers, but then one of them decided to betray the other and go to the other side. And by the other side, I mean there's currently like a war going on and we have different people trying to take ownership or like trying to be the #1 ruler. Our main character, he feels betrayed by his lover because he's like, I thought I knew you, I thought I could trust you, and then you go and stab me in the back. But now his lover comes back and his memory, it doesn't exist. Like, he can't remember anything. Apparently he's been so severely tortured that he just can't. Like, his entire memory has just been erased, but our main character doesn't believe him. Our main character thinks that he's being played and he's not going to fall for his tricks once again. So yeah, we've got like lovers turned to enemies, now could totally potentially become lovers once again. So tell me why I didn't continue this series. Like, that just sounds like the perfect type of book for me. So yeah, definitely prioritizing Remnants of Filth because it just sounds like, I remember I had so much fun with the first volume and I know that the second one is going to be just as fun, or maybe even better. Next up, we have On a Woman's Madness, and this was a gift from Anita. Anita, thank you so much. And also, I'm so sorry because I know that we said that we were going to buddy read this in November and then we never did. And that's totally on me, you know what I mean? I've been wanting to read this book for so long because this is one of the books that I added to my TBR when I was looking for different books to add to my Reading Around the World challenge, and this one just sounded so incredible. This is from Suriname. Astrid Romer's 1982 novel is a queer classic of European and post-colonial literature, and amid its tales of plantation-dwelling snakes, rare orchids, and star-crossed lovers, it is also a blistering meditation on the cruelties we inflict on those who disobey. I mean, come on now. That sounds like such an incredible way of describing a book. Let me read the first sentence. Okay, I'm so intrigued. It's the start of a big year for us. Period. That's such a great way to start a book, especially considering that this is on my New Year TBR. My marriage lasted exactly 9 days, making waves in our tiny riverine country and setting me adrift for the rest of my life. Oh my god, I am so intrigued. Shut up. I am so intrigued. Once again, I am so grateful to Anita for sending me a copy of On a Woman's Madness because I just know this is going to be an incredible experience. And the last book that I have on my 2026 TBR, of course, I'm going to be reading other books in 2026, but these are the ones that I definitely need to get to. And the very last one on this list is Your Absence is Darkness, written by John Kalman Stephenson. Translated from the Icelandic by Philip Rofton. Incandescent and elemental, hope-filled and humane, Your Absence is Darkness is a comedy about mortality, music, and the strange salve of time, and a spellbinding saga of death, desire, and the perfect agony of star-crossed love. Oh my goodness, that is such a beautiful description for a book. This was also a gift, so thank you, Ellie, for sending this my way. I had never heard of this book before it arrived on my doorstep, but honestly, it just sounds like such a beautiful book. It sounds like those types of books that really focus on developing their characters and giving us some authentic, genuine, unfiltered experiences through the lens of these characters. So to say that I'm excited to read this would be the understatement of the year. I am so excited to read this, but I'm also excited to read all of these other books that I have mentioned here today. I really need to work on like maybe a priority list just to like get all of these books in order and make sure that all of them get read, because I for sure don't want to miss out on any of these stories and any of these books, because I know my new favorite book is hiding amongst this pile of books and I don't even know which one it's going to be. In the comments down below, let me know what books you think I'm going to enjoy the most out of the list that I've just shared. Which ones do you think are going to become a favorite? Which ones do you think I'm maybe not going to be having the best time with? Like, I would love to know your opinion, because I feel like by this point, I feel like you guys really know my reading taste, so you can definitely tell which books I'm going to enjoy, which ones could surprise me, and which ones you know, I'm much better off not reading. So let me know in the comments below. And I would also love to know what you have in your 2026 TBR. What books are you going to be prioritizing? What books are you so excited to get to in this new year? And are there any books on your 2025 TBR that you still haven't gotten around to? Let me know anything and everything in the comments below. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this look through my 2026 TBR. I had so much fun talking about them and honestly like reawakening the excitement for these books because I just need to hype myself up. At this point, I really need to build the excitement and get ready to tackle all of these books. You know, some are going to be easier than others, but then some are definitely going to be harder than others. So I need to hype myself up. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really do hope that you enjoyed. I also have a Patreon where I post exclusive content. I host readathons, reading sprints, and a monthly book club. So if that sounds like something that you'd enjoy, the link is down below. As always, I would love to have you join my community. And I feel like this is gonna fall. Without further ado, thank you so much for watching. I love you all so very much. Happy Bookmas Day 10. Oh my goodness, happy Bookmas Day 10. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Hey Jimmy, you nice. Keep going.